Hey guys, Jonah here, and I'm at the National New York Central Museum in downtown Indiana. So, this museum has full of trains. There's a bunch of trains all over. We're gonna go through a bunch of them, and also, which is amazing, that there was a operating railroad crossing over here. So, and there was a no wagon right over there. And if we see any trains around, we can definitely go and see them. So, guys, we're gonna be going ahead and take a look at a diesel. This is the 4085 F series engine. Um, you can actually go inside of this. This is a F series engine. And you can actually go inside of the cab of the engine, which is pretty crazy too. We're gonna take a look at the other engines too. But first off, let's go ahead and take a look inside of the engine.
I have to go to the doctor.
So this is inside of the F series engine. We can actually have access to the back door where the engine is. But first we need to take a look at the cab. So this is the cab inside of the 30 or the 4038, I think it is. So there's not that many controls in here, but there was quite a lot. This is what everything looked back then. There was two engineers inside of here. Here's the throttle. Here's the horn right here. I'm not gonna pull it. There's a speedometer which says 120 miles an hour. So these things go pretty fast. There's the cab door that we get in. There's actually three cab doors in the front, which is the front of the engine, one on the side, two on the sides actually, and it's really awesome. So you can actually sit inside of this engine, which is pretty awesome. So this is inside of the cab. Now, as you can tell, that the cab actually has these windows that are shaped like this. That is pretty realistic for the cabs for the 1950s, because these New York Central F Series engines were used in the 1950s, which is pretty nice. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look on the back, and let me just give you guys a quick look at the back again. And also inside, most of it is made out of metal, but some of it is not made out of metal. Some of the parts are actually made out of wood. Here is the first side. The person over here has the access to the boiler controls, and the person on the right will have the controls of everything else with throttle and speed and stuff. So as you can see, there's the windows. There's a windshield wiper. There is not that much to the front, but there is light bulbs and stuff inside as well. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look on the back. On the back, of course, it is the engine. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look. And there is the engine. As you can see, the engine is absolutely huge, especially how much horsepower this engine does have. The horsepower in this engine is about 2,000 to 3,000 things. Now, there is not that much there is a lot of stuff to it, and just to let you guys know that there is two sets of engines. There's one in the front and one in the back. Obviously, they would have two engines so it can have more power. But engines these days will have more horsepower, like, for example, the Dash 9 locomotive, or the ESV4AC, that would have about 4,400 horsepower. So that is inside of the engine. I know that there is two sides to this place. There is two doors on each side. This side is actually a little bit more newer than the other side, because as you can see on this side, everything looks more newer than the other side. On the other side, it's a lot more rustier than this part. So that's how engines works these days. So this is inside the cab, and I know that there is another door to the front. Now, just to let you guys know that usually, maybe sometimes there might be 3 engineers inside of a locomotive. So if they do not have enough people or enough seats, they have an extra one that can move up and down, just like that. But right now, you can't even do it right now. So this is a water thing. So if you're like thirsty and stuff, there's a water compartment in there, and there's the other door which leads to the front. So this inside of the cab is pretty awesome. This is the whole cab. Pretty awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and head out of this engine and move on to another one. And here's just a look on the back of the engine. Pretty cool. 4085. Here's some engine. You can go ahead and pause it. So this was the 20th Century Limited passenger. So that is 4085. Awesome engine. Huge thumbs up. I really love this engine. And I never even ever touched the engine like this. So I believe we're going to move on to the 3001. So this engine is the Mohawk, which is a engine that is kind of not knowing if this engine is going to be running again, but people are saying that this engine might run again, which is pretty cool. This is the 3001 Mohawk, which is a 482 engine, which is pretty awesome. So here's the front of the engine, which looks very brand new. So this is inside of a dining car. This is the dining car. It's still getting renovated because of how much it got destroyed. So we're just gonna go ahead and just go through everything that this engine has. So this is the dining car for New York Central. And this was during the 1950s. Right now, it's being renovated because of how much destruction is going on. As you can see, there's bullet holes in the windows, cracks. It's crazy. But you can just imagine people inside of this car eating food at these tables, at these booths, on these tables, eating food and enjoying the ride to their location. So this is the dining, or the kitchen for the dining room. There's actually like a speaker for letting you guys know, or letting people know that the food is ready. Here's a cabinet for plates and stuff. And here's inside of the kitchen where they make food and clean sinks inside. It's pretty crap. 48 people were actually inside of this car by the sign right here. You can pause and you can read about it. There's another one right here you can read as well. I don't move. You can actually see what it says. There you go. You can actually see it. Alright, go ahead and pause it and you can know. So this is inside of the dining car. It's in renovation right now, so it will be fixed. This door is pretty heavy between people would be in here is because it's in renovation. Sorry if the camera was all shaky. So yeah, you can actually tell how it's pretty messed up because of the rust and stuff. So it's pretty bad for this car. So it's going to be renovated soon, and it will be fixed. And this was 953. And I believe this was probably New York Central. So you can see how damaged it is. And the windows are in pretty bad shape. So this is gonna be a renovation, and it will be fixed. So don't worry about it being all messed up. Alright, let's move on. So, this is a caboose. Now you can get inside of this one too. This is Caboose. You can actually see people are actually in here working inside of here. There's tables and stuff for people to relax and stuff. So there's a bunch of places where people worked here. And it's pretty crazy to just mention because workers and stuff actually slept here, which is pretty weird, but it's crazy though. So we're getting close to the end of the engines. As you can see, it's pretty bad back here because these cars were used back in the day, and now they're all just left here to rot. I believe this was a baggage or mailing car because of the door. I believe you can go inside of here. This is a very old Lakeshore and South Bend railroad car. It's a South Shore. And this is a passenger car, which is pretty in bad shape. They better, I bet they're gonna start goodness sake, I can't talk today. Chicago South Shore and South Bend railroad cars. So we're gonna go ahead and get inside of this thing. So this is inside of the Chicago South Bend and South Shore car. Now you can tell that people are reckless and want to destroy this car by throwing rocks at it and completely destroying it. As you can tell that people are really reckless around here, and they just want to destroy windows. It's really bad for these cars. Now, as you can see, there is no compartments on the top, like airplanes and stuff, which has like these luggage compartments on the top. As you can see, all the chairs are here. They all are in pretty good condition from how old it is. There's a bunch of seats that go across and across. And when you reach the middle, it's just slightly different. The chairs are facing to each other, so people would be talking here, and lots of people, like hundreds and hundreds of people back in the day, were all talking to each other, and just sleeping and stuff, and just waiting for the train ride to be over and stuff. So this is a really useful really useful car. Now you can tell that there's some rips and stuff in it, but all and over, it's in pretty good condition, except for all the windows that pretty much have been destroyed by trespassers who go to the railroad over there and just attempt to just throw rocks at the car to just completely destroy it. So this is another car, which is a pretty bad condition on the outside, but good condition inside though. It's pretty rusty outside, but it's in good condition for right now, for inside. So that is South Shore and South Bend, Chicago railroad car. Pretty cool. As you can see, this was a luggage and mail car because there is actually luggage thing. So as you can see, there would be storing parts and stuff in here for mailing and luggage. As you can see, luggage is right inside of there, and a couple parts in there for mailing. As you can see right here, this is a Milwaukee Road cargo freight car, which is pretty cool. Look at that.